Good evening, everyone. It's absolutely great to be here. My name is Sam Savant, founder and CEO of TwoScoreTwo. We're the blockchain commerce company. And what we are doing is using blockchain technology to secure global supply chains. And here's why that's needed. About a third of the companies in the US fall victim to supply chain fraud. They have their supply chains hacked. Each occurrence of this hack typically costs $2.7 million. This is a huge problem. We're talking about 5% of companies, 5% of annual revenue for companies being spent in this kind of a problem. So here's a little bit more information about why that happens. So as products are moving from manufacturer all the way to the customer, there's a bunch of data and payments moving along with it. All that data and payments is moving in insecure formats, moving in unsecured delivery like paper, like email. And there's a bunch of people who have access to all that information and can go in there and make changes and hack into all of that stuff and cause huge problems for companies. So this is a cartoonish impression of what a supply chain looks like. This is what a real one looks like, right? So each of these lines, and this is pretty much a small supply chain, each of these lines we are seeing here has data, has product, and has money moving on it. And can you imagine the chaos when you're trying to control all of this with a group of 8 or 10 people who are trying to control the fraud in this entire supply chain? This is nuts. So here's what we did. Actually, before that, so global commerce has a whole bunch of problems which can occur, right? We're not going after all of them. We're tackling 3. We're tackling impersonation, we're tackling payment fraud, and data leaks and tampering. So here's how we do that. We bring these guys onto one blockchain commerce platform. And this is something we developed. MINERVA is our product. We build that out here in Michigan, and we bring all of these guys onto one platform. And using this platform, using our user interfaces and so on, they're able to send data very securely to each other. They're able to make payments to each other. We're able to separate them out of a public internet onto our own P2P, peer-to-peer private network. And we're watching all of this for fraud, and we're monitoring fraud. As if it's going to happen, we can shut it down. So how do companies actually use this? So we have built our entire stack. We've got a blockchain commerce backend all the way to the front end, and companies can start using it directly out of the box. So there's no need to spend thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars building out on top of a blockchain and starting to use it. So that's something we provide out of the box, and if they want integration, we can integrate it for them also. Integration with their existing databases, their systems, and so on and so forth. So my co-founder and I are very, very familiar with the industrial space. So we're going after industrial distributors and industrial manufacturers, making amazing things like HVAC unit, pipe manufacturing, all of those things which are so unsexy, but they make so much of money and they cost so much, and there's so much of trade happening in these things. The total dollars we're talking about in terms of potential revenue is about 30 billion, and this is about 3 years from now. And this is actually achievable revenue for companies like us. We're going after the industrial segment and a smaller beachhead in there in Michigan, Ohio, and that's about $140 million. We're going after them with a dedicated sales force who will be supported with a marketing team. So we make money 2 ways. We get money through a subscription fee, and this is a pure platform as a service subscription model. So we charge subscription fee. Also, we make a transaction, a percentage of the total payments which are moving on the platform. So our average contract value in year 1 is about $175,000 per chain, and then we kind of go from there, and we start increasing that as we build in more capabilities. So really excited to talk about traction. So we have 3 committed customers today. We're going to launch them next month. And these are customers who understand how valuable our platform is. And we've had pilots before. We have had pilots with banks who are now partners. We have had pilots with content providers where we were able to demonstrate the data security and encryption of our data transfer platform. 3 highly experienced, talented people on our management team, over 50 years of supply chain technology and sales experience. We also have a few advisors who are not here, and we can talk about those. Again, thank you all.